What's going on, everybody? Mark Flores here, back again for the third episode of Nerd Roll Call. Again, I just want to thank you guys for continuously watching the videos, the episodes, and also participating in the discussion of the questions or anything that we talk about on these episodes. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Let's see, computer's right below me, so yeah, I'm looking at show notes again. So I got more title ideas from you guys, two in particular. One from Justin Runes. Yeah, he gave me some feedback, which I appreciated, and then yeah, he gave me some like hints of like what to do, or maybe in a way try to make this show and I guess more professionally better or whatever. But his title idea was "Eye of the Tiger," which is weird in a way. I wonder why he picked Eye of the I was wondering why he was picking the animal tiger, but I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I do like tigers. They're actually my favorite animal, other than dogs. But yeah, they are my favorite animal, especially white tigers. So yeah, I don't know. No, I don't think it's resonating with me, but I appreciate the thought and the idea. So thanks, Justin. I appreciate it. And then the second title idea was from ChrisP, who also sent in questions today. His title idea was let's see, what was it? Sit down with Marco, aka the Pretty Lips Flores. Yeah, it for some reason, or not for some reason. I guess I wanted to explain a short story. So back in the day when we were me and ChrisP and other group of guys, Ray, Jeff, actually Ray, rest in peace, Jeff Chin, Eddie Veray, Farrington Terrence, who else? Joey, Joseph Ronaldo, yeah. Yeah, we would play Halo, and we would play online against like other people or teams. So in a way, we were like the first esports type like team, but we're not doing it for like money or anything. But I forgot who gave me that name. I want to say it was either Jeff or it was either Farrington or Terrence. But they gave me the nickname Pretty Lips, and at first I thought it was like a compliment, and then all of a sudden, yeah, I thought it was a compliment. And then like years later, I asked like, so what did you guys give me that name? So I was like, oh man, then they would say, oh man, we were making fun of you because you were putting so much chapstick on your lips. So that's why we called you Pretty Lips. I'm like, that's messed up. That is messed up, you guys. Because when I was younger, I was like, I guess I fully embraced it because I don't know, when people give you a nickname, I guess good or bad, I guess you like either you accept it or you don't, and I chose to accept Pretty Lips. But yeah, ever since I found out why they gave me that nickname, it's like I want to avoid that nickname from now on. Besides, like somebody else can have that nickname, like Batista. Dikembe Mutombo, that like. I don't know why you did that picture, Batista, but anyways. Yeah, so those were the title ideas. Thank you, Justin and Justin Runes and ChrisP for those title ideas. But I'm sticking with Nerd Roll Call. But yeah, yeah. Let's see what else. So I have something to announce with this show. I'm going to move this show to a new channel dedicated to like I've been using the term nerd or nerdy stuff. So yeah, so I'm gonna move this show to a channel dedicated to like all nerd stuff. Again, on like the subjects that I've been asking you guys to send questions about: video games, movie, anime, what was it? Tricking, martial arts, wrestling, comics. Yeah, so like stuff like that. So it's gonna be dedicated to that kind of stuff. Yeah. And the channel is called Nerd in the Bay. So the reason for that title is, again, I've been using the term nerd or nerdy. So yeah, and then the reason for in the Bay is because I'm from the Bay Area, and there's a lot of stuff that happens here, like especially with nerdy stuff, and plus the video game stuff this is basically the mecca of like industry stuff. So like a lot or all of the video game companies are here, and then you also have like the editorial video game websites. They're also here. So like oh, there's always startups, or like you always hear something about video games here, and then yeah, it's very what was that, like high tech, like what they say, like Silicon Valley and all that stuff, because Google, YouTube, like Facebook, everything is here in San Francisco, the Bay Area. So yeah, so that's the reason why. And then hopefully like the ideas I have for the channel is like one is not only like video game playthroughs or introduction to games. I wanted to go through let's see, like maybe going to particular places that like embraces that term nerd. Like maybe go into like a special comic book place, or go to areas that that have like a tabletop game area, or if there's like a convention of sorts, I can go to, and then maybe record and like throw some footage up there, and then maybe do some other shows as well. Hopefully get more people to do more like other shows, maybe dedicate like a wrestling show, or dedicate an anime show, or whatnot. So yeah, that's the idea. So that's where this show, Nerd Roll Call, is going to go to. It's going to call the channel title is Nerd in the Bay. So I hope you guys go to that channel. There's nothing up yet, but as soon as I possibly can, I'm going to start throwing content out there, and then hopefully you guys enjoy it. So yeah, again, without further ado, let's go to what I'm keeping my eye on this week. So now, what I'm keeping my eye on this week are a few things that I've noticed, or like this happened like recently. So in video game, I'm gonna just go down through the list, and it's a pretty hefty list for this week. So in video games, one is the closing of Bay Area arcades. Let's see, yeah. Recently, if you didn't hear, let's see, Malibu Grand Prix in Redwood City, I believe. Yeah, Redwood City just announced that they were closing, or they are closed, for good now. Yeah, and then an arcade in Millbury, Millbury, San Mateo, an arcade called an arcade place called Game Center Arcade is also closing down, or is closed as well. So it's very unfortunate, because in the Bay Area, in particularly, like in San Francisco and Bay Area, anyways, the arcade scene has been particularly like I want to say stable, or it was stable at one point, because a lot of arcades in the U.S. are closing down, and yeah, it's actually pretty sad. The reason is because maybe of video games, having online in their games, and there's like no need to go to the arcade and spend like a lot of money for arcade cabinets, and yeah, the list of reasons can go on, but yeah, the reason why I put in the closing of Bay Area arcades is because not only Game Center Arcade is closing down, but Starbase in San Rafael, I think, in the North Bay, and then I think beginning of this year, Southtown Arcade in downtown San Francisco also closed down. So yeah, that really sucks, because I was getting, I guess like maybe a couple of years ago, I was getting back into the arcade scene, and I was doing like local Street Fighter tournaments, like Street Fighter 4 tournaments, and so I was basically hanging out at Game Center Arcade for a good period of time, and entering those tournaments. And so to hear that it's closing down is really unfortunate, because they had a good selection of like addicting, like awesome games. So yeah, and in the two arcades, Starbase and Southtown Arcade, I never got to go to those arcades, and I wish I was able to before they closed down. But yeah, Starbase had their final stream, I think it was yesterday, on iPlay Winner, and then Southtown again. Yeah, they closed down, I think, beginning of the year, I want to say. But they have been throwing events they have been throwing events under that name. So they're not particularly dead, but they don't have a set location yet. So yeah, hopefully we get to hear back from Southtown Arcade, because it's I think that arcade name is pretty dope, because it was named after the Fatal Fury and King of Fighters series, like the location, Southtown, with Terry Bogard, East Howard. Yeah, if you know those names. But yeah, and then also Malibu Grand Prix announcing they were closing, which is that struck me in particularly, because I had like a lot of memories going over there, playing like a lot of miniature golf and hitting in the batting cages, and doing the racing, and especially the arcades, because there was like if you ever been to Malibu Grand Prix, it looks like a castle from the outside, and then it was like surrounded by arcades and games and stuff. And then they also had like a mini arcade in the side or in the back, and that's where the racing was going on. And yeah, they also filled the building with arcade cabinets in there as well. So to hear that it's closing down, oh man, that really sucks. 'Cause I need to check if they're gonna close at a certain date, or if they're already closed. Because if they're still open, then I would love to go there for like one final time, and maybe just record some footage, and yeah, I guess to have like a final goodbye of that place, So yeah. Like I said, I did have memories of that place. So like one memory in particularly was I think when Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was released. It was there, and I believe I was there for the first time, I guess in the Bay Area, or at least that's how I first encountered it, and so that was like a big deal to me, because Marvel vs. Capcom, now becomes like one of the great fighting games you see in Evo. And so yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was there, and then we would always frequent there to just play the locals in like any other fighting games, like Street Fighter 3, Third Strike, and like Tekken 3 and 4, and Tag. We would let's see what else. And then well, when I say we, it's the guys that I've hung out with in the back in the day, ChrisP, Ray, rest in peace, Jeff, Eddie, Joey. Yeah, we would always like frequent like the arcade places. So yeah. And then another memory that I had was when Initial D came out, and we were and still are like huge fans of Initial D, the racing game, a racing arcade game. When that came out at Malibu, so we were so hyped about it. We got our ID cards, and we picked our cars, and yeah, and then I remember this particularly because there was a one guy that was dressed from head to toe, and if you ever watched the anime, you would know who this guy was dressed like. So he was dressed as like one of the emperors from was that third stage, third stage, yeah. The leader of the emperors, what was it? Kyoichi Sudo. He had the white headband, headband, and again dressed head to toe, like he was basically cosplaying it. He had the car. He had everything about that character, and he was super serious about it. I think the only thing that he didn't have was the skill of Kyoichi Suido. So yeah, if you're watching this video, some shots were fired. Yeah, you dressed the part, but I don't know if you had the skill for it. But yeah, so yeah, that's about it. So it's sad to see those places go, but I hope to hear about new arcades or new places like rounding up. Yeah. So on to the next part. So I recently found I always stumble upon like sites or streams that do like interesting or crazy stuff. So there's one site or stream that I found recently, and it's been the popularity has been like rising and basically came out of nowhere. There's this place called Salty Bets. So what Salty Bets is, it's basically a Mugen fighting game. If you don't know what Mugen is, it's like how would I say it? It's a fighting game at its core, and they grab all these characters from all these fighting games, and even characters that you wouldn't have seen in a fighting game, but if they had fighting game sprites or sprites in particularly, they put them in the game. So it was basically the all-star of all-star games, and you could put anybody in there, any stage, anything. Just the underlying term is anything. You could put anything in there, and it would work as a fighting game. So the term Mugen has been around for a good while, since the beginning of internets, but Salty Bets in particularly has been rising in popularity. I think as recently, because I just found this place, and I've been seeing people like in Twitter and just say, yeah, you got to go to this place. It's crazy, and they have a stream, and they're just you're just watching craziness. So the Salty Bets is a place, a stream, and a website where you can basically bet money, fake money, on who's gonna win on each fight. So when you do go to the site, you can sign up, you can get free starting fake money, and then you watch the stream and you bet on who's gonna win. And you can see people's like earnings on the left, and then you can see the chat on the right. Everybody's watching it and discussing like how hype the matches are or whatever. And then the center screen is the display and the fight, and yeah. And then in the bottom you can place who you want to bet on. So yeah, I would say go to Salty Bets or saltybet.com and check it out, because yeah, I haven't signed up yet, but I'm going to, because yeah, I want to participate and like just enjoy just watching like characters that you won't even figure out that they can work in a fighting game. So like I saw let's see, what did I see in particular? I saw Butthead from Beavis and Butthead going up against, who did he go up against? I forgot. It was either like Piccolo or somebody. But yeah, either that or I forgot what the other character was, but I saw going up against Bison. Not M. Bison, a bison, like a bull bison. And it was so big that it almost like reached like half the screen, and it was fighting like a character like this big or something. So yeah, like crazy stuff like that. You should definitely check it out, saltybet.com. But yeah, again, check it out. Let's see. And then the final thing in terms of video games is another stream that I happen to find. So I found this channel called Man vs. Game, and basically it's a guy just doing playthroughs of like all these games that he wants to go play. But it's entertaining. The guy is very engaging. He like interacts with everybody. Again, let's see. And the particular stream that he was doing that I found was something called the Brawlcast. So what he was doing, I think, is like every Friday, and I believe it starts like 12 p.m. Eastern time. Try that again. I just got a phone call from work, which you can see I'm at work right now. Yeah, so let me reintroduce what I was saying. So I found this channel called Man vs. Game, and in particular, they were doing a themed stream called the Brawlcast. So what the Brawlcast is, this guy, he's a fan of fighting games, but he doesn't play them hardcore. So the person in this channel, Man vs. Game, he's basically a beginner's introduction to fighting games. So I believe the first episode that he did, or first episode stream that he did, was on Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, and he played it for the PC. So he opened up a lobby and invited just beginners that want to just start playing Street Fighter, and I found it entertaining to the point where I wouldn't call myself a beginner. I would say maybe intermediate at best in terms of playing Street Fighter. But I found it entertaining because I'm into the fighting game community, but I'm not hardcore into it. But it's good to see streams like that have a place for beginners that want to learn these fighting games and want to get into the scene and want to go to tournaments maybe. So yeah. So the first game that he went through was Street Fighter 4, but he doesn't stop there. He goes through other games as well. I believe I saw King of Fighters streamed while he was playing. I saw Skullgirls. I saw Persona Arena. What else? I saw what else? I think I saw Smash Brothers too. But yeah, he's trying to find where his places, I guess, in the fighting game, in the list of fighting games actually. And then yeah, I would say check it out if you're that person that is interested in wanting to get into fighting games but don't want to get clobbered online, or you want to find a community of beginners and you guys can grow in skill all together and stuff. But yeah, I would say check it out. The website, I believe, is called twitch.tv/Man vs. Game. So yeah, I would say check it out again. Let's see. And yeah, I guess that's it. I had some stuff for tricking, but I guess I can go through that another time. So let's go ahead and jump to the questions. Now we're gonna jump into the questions, and we only have 2 questions from returning question person, Chris Padua. And let's see what he asked for this week. Let's see. First question is there a game from your childhood that you wished they remade but didn't? That's a good question. That's also a hard question to answer because I would say I can't think of a game from back then where they haven't remade yet. Because a lot of games that they did make, they are remaking them in some form or fashion. So I can't really think of any. Really, more so than a game, I would like a genre to come back in this day and age. So, growing up in arcades and playing on Nintendo and Super Nintendo and all that stuff, the genre that was really popular before fighting games was the beat 'em up brawlers. So, and particularly co-op brawlers. So you have stuff like let's see if I can name any. Double Dragon 2-player game, and they remade it recently. Let's see what else. Combat Tribes, that was a 3-player game, I think. Yeah, See what else? Final Fight, of course. I think that was 2-player, but it should have been a 3-player because they had 3 characters. Hagar, Cody, and Guy. What else? I know there's more. Okay, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. They remade that. Battletoads, maybe that one. Maybe that game they can remake. And that game was I know it's in the Nintendo is particularly like what is considered the most difficult game of all time. One of the most difficult games. Let's see. What else? I know there's more. Rival Turf was pretty good on the Super Nintendo, and then I don't think I've gotten to play Rival Turf 2. I know there's more. Oh well, I know when the PS2 came out, not when it just came out, but when the PS2 came out, there was a game called The Bouncer, and I was a fan of that because they had co-op like special attacks. So like when that came, like I became a fan of like any other beat 'em up that had that type of game. Oh, Streets of Rage, there you go. Streets of Rage needs to come back. Yeah, so yeah, The Bouncer would be one because they had like interesting looking characters and like each character has a different fighting style. Of course, like in beat 'em ups, you want to make people different, basically. Let's see what else. Yeah, keep it going. Who else is there? I know there's more, but now I can't think of any, or I'm going blank. But yeah, I would say the beat 'em up genre or brawler genre. I know it's still here in this day and age, but it's more so of like 1-player type games. Like for example, Devil May Cry, can consider a beat 'em up slasher type. What else? God of War, I would say. God of War, you can consider like a beat 'em up or hack and slash. Let's see, Bayonetta. I hear that's really good in terms of like the beat 'em up genre. I think there was one game back then. It was on the Saturn or yeah, I think I want to say the Saturn. Guardian Heroes. I know that just re-released on Xbox Live Arcade, but it has yet to come out for like the PSN network or maybe Steam as well. I do have X-Men the arcade game, the 6-player one. Well, you can go 4-player or 6-player, but I did buy that arcade as soon as that came out. So yeah, whenever if there's ever a chance where I can have like 5 other players and 5 other controllers, then we can go at it with X-Men the arcade game. But they do need to update it, I think. But it also has its charm, with like Magneto, with Magneto lines, and yeah, I'm having fond memories of that now. But yeah, I would say the beat 'em up genre would be what I would want to come back in this day and age. So yeah, thank you for that question. Let's see. The second question from Chris Badua is there a comic book movie you would like to see but haven't made yet? That's a good question. And when I thought of it, I could not think of anything else that's besides that is coming out now. That's not been like, yeah, you haven't heard news about it or anything. So yeah, there's now like an influx of comic book movies coming out, and I can potentially see like a burnout coming soon because if you just keep pumping out comic book movies and if you don't like make them different or stand out in a way, then people are gonna get burnt out. Me in particular, like being burnt out on comics in the '90s, late '90s. But yeah, I think in terms of Marvel, because I just follow mainly Marvel stuff, and sometimes DC, but not so much like the indie stuff or like the other companies other than the big two. I would like to see I don't think I've heard any kind of news yet. Like a Heroes for Hire type movie with what's that? Luke Cage and Iron Fist, or like a yeah, like a team up movie like that. Because I can see that going really well. You know, Power Man or Luke Cage. You could have like. I know Tyrese was wanting to become the person to be Luke Cage. I think personally, I would think that Michael Jai White, Black Dynamite himself, would be a good Luke Cage if he wanted to, and then Iron Fist. As long I don't want to say as long as you get anybody or anybody can play him. I want to say as long as you can get a martial arts actor, like maybe Scott Adkins, and Scott Adkins and Michael Jai White have worked together in Undisputed 2, so they can go well together. Or who else? No, name's escaping me now. But yeah, I would say Heroes for Hire for Marvel, because now they're just pumping out Marvel movies and see what sticks and what doesn't. So yeah. New Warriors maybe. Yeah, I don't know how you can make that work, but New Warriors too probably. Because they've always been a hybrid. Like they've always been in the camp of X-Men and also Avengers, because they're that type of team. Excuse me. So yeah, maybe, and then DC. We know that Justice League is coming out. We know that Flash is coming out. Maybe Teen Titans. Maybe you can do Justice Society of America, but then again, that can also look like a clone of Watchmen, because it's basically not old heroes, but in the old 52, like old heroes or veteran heroes, being older, but they can still like do stuff and show like the Justice League when they do visit the Justice League, or when they did visit the Justice League, they can still show them a thing or two or something. So yeah, I would. Heroes for Hire is probably the main one. New Warriors, Teen Titans, and Justice Society of America, I think. Yeah, I would say those movies I would like to see, and you haven't heard anything announced or haven't been made yet. So yeah. Well, thank you, ChrisP, for those questions. Again, those were the only questions brought out. So if you want to send any questions, I guess I'm closing the show already. If you want to send any questions, you can throw them to me at Twitter at Marco Polo 177, or just comment on this video or any of the videos, or just comment on the last video, in this video if you for the next episode, and then you can also throw questions to me on Facebook. I usually throw Facebook statuses about rounding up questions. So yeah, my Facebook is facebook.com/Marco Polo 177. So yeah, you have all those avenues of sending questions, and yeah, hope to hear from you guys. And again, I would like to see you guys in the discussion of the questions of the shows, and whatever subjects that was talked about, on the show. So yeah, let me see. Since there's only 2 questions, let me throw one. Let me throw one to you, but there's also gonna be a one or the other. Let's see. Okay, how about this? You can answer either one or the other of ChrisP's questions. Is there a game from your childhood that you wish they remade, but they haven't, or is there a comic book movie that you would like to see, but haven't been made yet? Or let's see. A question I'm going to throw out to you guys, so you can answer either ChrisP's questions or the question I'm going to throw out to you guys. So, okay, do you have a memory of an arcade that, say, you used to go to, and that's closed down or recently, or have been closed down? So your fondest arcade memory growing up. So yeah, if it was at Malibu or wherever you're from, your fondest arcade memory. So the questions are, either is there a game from your childhood that you wish they remade but haven't, or is there a comic book movie you would like to see but haven't made yet? Or the question I'm throwing out to you guys again, your fondest arcade memory from your arcade that you frequently used to go to. So yeah, those are the questions of the show. I hope that was clear enough. Yeah, again, yeah, just want to say thank you so much for watching the show, and yeah, I'll see you guys next week. All right, peace.